Oh, this is good. It's good to be back with Geeks Assembled, and hello to all of our watchers out there, all five of you. No, I'm just kidding. There are more than five. But hello to all of you. This is Audio Heads. Yeah, we're part of Geeks Assembled. Yeah, it's just another part, like just all the other parts, because it's just Lee and I mostly. And but this week we're discussing something that had recently uh, that hadn't been recently released, but had been uh, well. Anyway, I'll just start off by saying, rest in peace, Jean Marsh, who was featured actress in this.
Yeah,
The Wishing Beast, the Sixth Doctor and Melanie Bush, Bonnie Langford, Colin Baker, and wonderful, uh, our wonderful host, the played by Toby Longworth, and Jean Marsh, and Geraldine Newman. Mm-hmm. They were playing the characters of this family who got stranded on this rock. Just so you know, this was a really sort of atmospheric one. It had a lot of ghosts in it. Like there's a lot of good stuff about the way that this was made. And so I'm just going to open it with Lee. What's your opening thoughts, please? The Wishing Beast.
The Wishing Beast, written by Paul Mars. And Paul Mars, going from what he's done in the past and what he does now, always writes fantastical, out there, outlandish stories, be it audio, be it novels, because he's done quite a few Doctor Who stuff. So this is out there. A three-parter. This was Big Finish back then in 2007, around about then. There was experimenting doing three-parter stories with one bonus episode at the end of totally nothing to do with the story. They had a short run of those. They didn't really work out because this one-part stories weren't very good. It wasn't really a story. A one-episode story wasn't. You couldn't do anything with it really. So they went back to the four-part format after a while. But for being a three-parter, it works okay. As you say, you got Mel and the Doctor, Sixth Doctor, distress call from this planet, this rock, as they said. The land there, and there's these two old spinsters, some weird spinsters, like they're in.
Wasn't that a bit like Paradise Towers?
But this is. I think this is set. Yeah, it is set before Paradise Towers, because that was the seventh Doctor, wasn't it? But also these two old women, Maria and Eliza Appleworth, sisters. You get the feeling of like fairy tale witches.
All
Hansel,
right. That's
Hansel,
valid.
Hansel and Gretel going into the woods, and these two old women are like feeding the Doctor and feeding Mel, and you get that sort of feel, the grim fairy tale about it. But it turns out that they get these people, feed them up, and then sort of sacrifice them to the Wishing Beast, because this is what they've done with all the other people on the planet, on the rock. And all the other people have sort of remained there as spirits, ghosts, whatever you want to call them. And that's the main story, is that Mel is going to be the sort of sacrifice for the wishing beast, who will give her the what she wishes for the most. And as of course, it's the Sixth Doctor who saves the day. So, and it's a good characterization. There's only four or five, maybe six characters in this.
Yeah, it's pretty narrow focus.
Yeah, it's the Wishing Beast, the voice of the Wishing Beast, Toby Longworth.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, it is
he's been in everything.
amazing voice actor.
Yeah.
But yeah, Jean Marsh as Maria, Eliza as Geraldine, Geraldine as Eliza. Great two characters of these wacky sisters. I really did enjoy them. So yeah, it was a fun story, and I think 3 parts wet does
Yeah,
work for this. If it was 4 parts of them, there would have been a lot of padding. So
yeah.
yeah, 3 parts. 3 parts it works well. So over to you, Susan, and I'll go into other things in a bit.
Yeah, so yeah, Toby Longworth's deep voice was just, it was a perfect counterpoint to the voice of Toby Sawyer, another Toby, but playing Daniel, who was the character who had been sort of sucked into the whole wishing beast and became the wishing beast because as like a young boy he wanted to be a monster.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean that was fun to see. I mean it really was like that young boy in the in the story with like the Christmas the snowman at Christmas, the the great intelligence, the kid who was talking to the snow and actually ended up presenting in the snow. Those sorts of things are really amazing because when you get these kids involved and they are the ones who create the reality around them.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I enjoyed that a lot. And you could see that Mel was like willing to help, but also not willing to for anybody else to help, like the doctor and stuff. And that that was really, it really added some like deeper character to her. She just refused to sacrifice anyone to the wishing beast. And so what her heart's desire or whatever, her greatest desire, her greatest wish was like, she's like, better that that go unfulfilled. And so that really showed Mel Bush as like a really quality companion, quality character, like just
Mm-hmm.
so many neat things about the character of Mel. And then the other thing that was really the other character that I just really felt kinship with was this character called Mildew. It was one of those ghosts.
Yeah, yeah.
And
Sean Connolly played him. Yeah,
yeah, Sean Connolly, not Sean Connery, but Connolly.
yeah.
And yeah, this character was he was so, you know, he was so like innocent and strong, like strongly others focused. And so like these qualities that Mel and Mildew, which is funny, Mel and Mildew, that sounds like mold and mildew. You just have like that that sort of like combination, and then the way that they hoovered up souls, I thought that was really
with
incredible.
with a vacuum cleaner.
Yeah. All right. And so all of that to be said, these are all really cool parts of this story. Lee, what stands out to you? What parts of the story stand out to you?
Well, I did like the idea that the two sisters had the idea that the greatest adventurer time traveler was Mel.
That was
Yeah.
fun.
And the Doctor was a bit put out by all that.
And the doctor was the companion.
Yeah, I mean, also the one of the early comments, because they went out there and it was a bit cold as they came out the TARDIS, and the Doctor says, "I bet you wish your leg warmers went up to your neck."
Yep. And
But,
then didn't the ghost make a comment about his colored coat?
yeah,
All right,
Um,
go on. Sorry.
we've mentioned the vacuum cleaner. This powerful vacuum cleaner, what does suck the ghosts up and destroys them. You say you've got the Daniel inside the wishing beast, which the wishing beast turns out to be just this box. This box is the wishing beast. The whole dragon thing really didn't exist.
No, it existed. It was just like Daniel turned into what he wanted to be.
Yeah. It was the wish, because everybody, they thought the wishing beast was this creature, but it wasn't. The wishing beast was this box, what granted you the wishing. I just like the way it was sort of easily defeated though at the end. Here, have the box, open it, and that's it. But in between that and the toing and froing with the two crazy sisters, let's say played amazingly by Jean Marsh and Geraldine Newman. I mean, Eliza with her laser beam eyes. Take your glasses off.
Take your glass.
Evaporating.
It was like Johnny Storm in the X-Men, yeah?
Johnny Storm in the X-Men? Do you
No,
mean
not Johnny. I don't. That's not what I meant.
Johnny Storm.
Cyclops. Oh my God. So sorry. Oops.
You're having to hand your geek membership card in.
No. Please don't take that. Jeez.
But yeah, all in all, it was a good. It was a fantastical. As I said, you got the feeling of a Grimm's fairy tale. In this dark forest with this one house there. Yeah, I enjoyed it, and it was just I mean, Big Finish have given Colin Baker and Bonnie Langford some great scripts. Well better than what they've been done on TV, in my opinion.
Ours is great writer.
Yeah. So they have 100% in my eyes sort of picked those two actors up and dusted them down and said, look, we can do it. We can make it better for you. You're a Doctor Who experience. Because Colin Baker and Bonnie Langford did go through the ringer on the TV, and the fans, it was a bit of backlash from the fans. And Big Finish have sort of rectified all that, which they can't do anything wrong in my eyes, apart from stopping making CDs.
I heard. That's what you just said.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that face. He is not happy.
I'm sorry.
Holy
if it's
smokes.
if it's download only, I will not be purchasing.
Oh no. Really?
Really? Yeah, I prefer the physical copy.
Okay.
Because what Big Finish has got to remember, they had the big fuck up last year with the new app.
Yeah, true.
You know, everybody lost all their downloads and all like this to begin with. Well, I mean, they're going to go them all back, but it took quite a while.
Yeah.
So, but
And
if
they,
you've got that,
and you would have just been just fine just keeping the old app, because that's what I did.
but yeah, I mean, I've seen some new releases coming up, and it's just download, download. So my wallet will be far better off from now on.
Hmm.
They'll lose a lot of customers, I'll tell you. But hey ho, that's another thing. Yeah, I enjoyed it. What stood out for you then, Susan?
Okay, well, if the Wishing Beast is the box set, and you're expecting to get your box set, I think that Big Finish have turned it into a dragon or a monster or something. Never mind. I'm just trying to sew this together in some fashion. I really cannot believe that Jean Marsh is gone. Her first appearance at Doctor Who was with uh,
William Hart.
Nicholas Courtney, and in this no,
No, she was in the Crusades.
she was in the Crusades
Yeah, with Julian Glover.
with Julian Glover.
That was her first appearance.
All right, well then her
Second appearance was the Dalek Master Plan.
second, and then all right,
Sarah Kingdom.
yep,
And her third appearance was Battlefield.
was with Nicholas Courtney again.
Yeah.
So every time, the fact that she spent so much time on screen with Nicholas Courtney, I'm just saying that, Brett Vian and the Brigadier both got their moment in the sun with Jean Marsh, and Jean Marsh was really great, and she was married to John Pertwee, and John Pertwee's passing was a long time ago, but we still were celebrating him by noticing that Jean Marsh was around, and now we have lost that, and the heart is just a little less rich because of it, and so I just I feel really bad, and in this one, Maria was such a good foil, such a good villain. It was really cool, like how she that's really what she's played all along, is like these people who are just standing in opposition to the Doctor, and like how that opposition is like it's as substantial as it can be because of the actress.
Well, yeah, I mean, she says in the at the end of the disc in the interviews that she said, I think she said about 80% or 90% of her acting career she's played villains.
Yeah.
You know, Doctor Who, um, Return to Oz, Willow,
Yeah, Willow.
down to five. So
Yeah.
she was in the TV series, or was she in the movie? I can't remember. I think it was the TV series. She played the not so good secretary or whatever, but
Yeah.
yeah. So, but I mean, she did some. She did in her career. She did play some nicey roles. She was co-creator of Upstairs, Downstairs, and
very, very.
House of Elliot.
What's that?
House of Elliot.
House of Elliot. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
She was amazing, and yeah. And what?
And as you've mentioned, Pertwee's first wife. So
Yeah.
I know it didn't last long, but she was married to him at some point.
Yeah. And this was directed by John Ainsworth, and he's done so many Big Finish pieces. It's so great, and I really appreciated this whole story, and I like the fact that the kid that you get a chance to really you get to know Daniel before he's forced to, you know,
Also, as
quote
well,
unquote, give up the ghost.
but also as well as the Doctor says, 300 years, he's no longer a kid.
Right, but you know, you get to know him pretty well before
Mhm.
he gives up the ghost anyway. And so anything else you want to say about this, please?
The soundscape and the music are excellent as always from Big Finish. I'm just trying to see who did the music on this one.
Andy Hardwick.
Yes, you're right. Yeah,
Sure.
yeah. Andy Hardwick. Yeah, did a grand job with the music.
And the sound design was Gareth Jenkins, but a lot of things are done by Gareth Jenkins. So yeah, exactly what you said. The soundscape and the music really were core to this created.
Yeah, added to it. Yeah,
And you could definitely feel the difference between the house and the countryside.
mm-hmm.
And oh my gosh,
And that's the best trifle he's ever seen. Another Sherry Doctor.
Another Sherry, yes. And then he's like, "Yeah, I'm going out much more cat-like." I was like, I really love Colin Baker. It was great to meet him. This was my first. This last year was the first time I met him, and he was beautiful. It was a beautiful guy.
You see, this is what the TV series didn't do, because the thing about the Sixth Doctor was, what was it? The saying is, the cat that walks alone.
Yeah.
You know, that's why I had a cat badge, and
Uh-huh.
but it wasn't really played upon in the TV series.
No. Right.
But some of the audios do sort of do that.
Weave it in.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Into the cat's cradle.
Yeah. Do you want to do your final say then?
Yeah. See, look, physical copy. Can't go
Yeah,
wrong.
look at that kid.
Look at that cover.
So awesome.
Yeah. And a bit of Mel there in the inside.
Nice.
Yeah, for a three-parter, it does what it says on the tin. It's the Wishing Beast. If it was 4 episodes long, as I said earlier, I think they would have padded it out. The story works well as a three-parter. As I say, soundscape, music, the acting, and and having Gene Marsh back in Doctor Who, just it's so much to treasure. So this is I would say 10 glasses of sherry out of 10.
And yeah, I will echo that. Echo. I will echo the 10 out of 10, 10 out of 10 wishing boxes out of 10. I would just like to say that the only joke they missed was the boxes in a box, taking the wishing box and putting it in the TARDIS, but they didn't do that.
No.
But I thought
You wouldn't have thought. I mean, they did leave it on the planet, on the rock.
They did, like
I
ripped open.
I wouldn't have done that.
Uh, yeah, I know.
Sequel.
Sequel, I know. Somebody comes together and tapes it back together, and there's still a little fragment of that beast.
Mm,
Oh
you
my
never
god!
know.
Yeah, we can write it right now, and we really do love the writing done by the authors and the Big Finish production team. Um, it is an enjoyable, really enjoyable part of my life to listen to Big Finish audios. So great. And the sixth Doctor and Mel really were done much better. And so if you'd like to join us and listen to these fabulous audios with us and then talk about them, because Geek Assemble, we talk about stuff. Just get in touch with Lee, please, and leave a message below. And then also, if you'd like to join us on the other podcast, leave a message below for Lee as well. And then also, probably another big part of this whole thing is that we'd really appreciate it if you hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification if you want to know that things are coming up. And yeah, thanks. And then and then also, give us a like or a dislike, just because that's the way the algorithm finds us. And also, yeah, because we do quite a few of these things. We've done like nearly 1,000 videos.
Oh, well, over 1,000, I think.
Over 1,000 videos. Anyway, we'd love to have you watch them all, but I know that you don't often have like 30,000 hours to enjoy our great repartee. Usually our videos are about 30 minutes long. And we also would encourage you to make a note of or write a letter to Big Finish if you prefer the physical copies, the CDs, because Lee can't be the only one who thinks that way. And if you write a letter to these places, this is what saved Star Trek. This is what was almost going to save Doctor Who in 1989. You just needed more writers. That's all. More letter writing always, fixes problems that come up in these science fiction things. So write your letter to Big Finish. And thanks for watching our video. Have a great one.